the 39th President of the United States, President Jimmy Carter, former governor of Georgia, former President of the United States between 1977 and 1981. Mike, I'm going to throw it over to you now for that special spot coming up here on CBS News.
CBS News special report. Former President Jimmy Carter died today. He was 100 years old. He was defeated for re-election in 1981, but lived an extraordinary life afterwards. In 2002, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
I'm not here as a public official, but as a citizen of a troubled world.
Historian Douglas Brinkley wrote The Unfinished Presidency of Jimmy Carter.
It's almost a joke now, but people will say Carter used the White House as a stepping stone for greater achievement, which means his ex-presidency is greater than his presidency. But in fact, he did a lot of very significant things as president.
I'm Jim Crystal in Plains, Georgia. Jimmy Carter was the first president to be born in a hospital and the only president from Georgia. Mr. Carter became the oldest living president ever in March of 2019.
CBS News Special Report. I'm Christopher Cruz.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
From Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
Tune in to KDKA Radio every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for On the Money with Secure Money Advisors. Brian Caranta has tips that will make sure your retirement and income plan is ready to help provide you with a comfortable, secure retirement.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
So, I mean, as we heard with the breaking news, the passing of the 39th President of the United States, as I've mentioned previously, we have the More Pittsburgh coming up at the top of the hour. Last Sunday of 2024. It's been an interesting year. I am looking forward to having a week of rest so that I can get ready for what this 2025 is going to be. Mr. Moore, happy holidays to you, kind sir.
Same to you. What's happening?
What hasn't been happening this whole year? It's been something else.
You've been doing a year in review?
A little bit, but not really.
I'm not looking back.
Well, there's a lot of consternation if you look back, and I think that's one of the things that.
That's why I'm not.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. That's why what you're willing to do and how your approach to it is not wrong, because I think that we're going to have to do some things differently going into 2025, and it's going to be hard to do with what we've already been seeing over the last couple of weeks with the president-elect's team, let alone what it's going to look like when the president comes into office and a new Congress, and we got a mayor's race coming up in Pittsburgh, and this is going to be, we thought 2024 was contentious. I think it's just going to ratchet up in 2025. That's what I'm not looking forward to.
It's contentious in America. We're talking about President Carter. What about that Iran hostage deal?
It's interesting.
Do you think that wasn't contentious?
Well, I also, and Ted brought up the very interesting 1979 with 3 Mile Island, and you ended up also having the Iranian hostage situation as well. You had the closing of steel mills going on throughout the late 70s as well. So, I mean,
And you don't think that was contentious?
Yeah, but we've had the 1990s in comparison was nowhere
contending over it today with Nippon Steel.
Yes, we are. But at the same time, there have been eras in the American last several decades where you can look at a period of time and it has not looked like it does now.
When?
I would say the 90s were definitely a lot calmer than what we have now.
The 90s? Let me see. Do I remember the 90s? What happened?
Yeah, that's my point. There was not that. I mean, you had the Republican Revolution was like one of the biggest things of the 1994 election.
You don't think that was contentious?
Not comparatively speaking to what we're dealing with now, no.
All the working people went over to the Republican Party.
That's a political story. That's not the same as what we're finding now with the level of divisiveness.
You know that.
There's levels of it. There's definitely levels of it. And the economy wasn't as, once the slight recession around the early 1990s receded, there were pretty much good economic times. There were not a lot of wars. It was the end of the Soviet Union, so you didn't have the Cold War going on. It was a different world.
It lasted for about half a minute. I remember them talking about the peace dividend when Clinton was president, and we were going to be great. It lasted about half a minute.
No, it lasted several years.
No.
And then but before you knew it, by 2001, we were at 9/11, and it went from there. So I get the point of what you're saying, but these times are a little different, plus the tone at the top in many different instances. The top position.
The tone at the top any different? Reagan was doing everything he could to undermine Carter, and did so, and won in a landslide. He won 44 states. You know that.
I do.
Everything is political, and everything is a fight. It always is.
There's different ways of fighting. What we have seen with Donald Trump and the Republican Party is not
Carter Hoover-esque. After the Hoovervilles and things of the Great Depression.
Not the same.
Not the same. The Great Depression was a period of contention in this country.
It definitely was, but I mean, now we're going back 100 years. So.
My point is just about every decade has its contention in America.
And I'm not saying that it's devoid of it. I'm saying that there are different levels of it. And I think 2024 has shown that, and I think 2025 is going to bring it right back into fold like we had in 17 through 21.
Do you think that President-elect Trump is going to have some of his MAGA supporters desert him once they see some of the decisions he goes back on?
No. But that's something you'll have an opportunity to talk about. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, okay.
You got 4 hours.
Never mind.
You got 4 hours to spend time with the good people of the listening audience of News Radio KDKA. In the meanwhile, I'm wishing you all a happy 2025. What'd you say?
It's the KDKA Radio High School Basketball Game of the Week, powered by Bowser Chevrolet. Every Friday at 6, we bring you the best players, the best sounds of the game, and the best matchups in the WPIAL. This week, Baldwin travels to South Fayette, presented by Coons Quality Foods, the official store of high school basketball. Allegheny Health Network Sports Medicine, official sports medicine of high school basketball. Tobacco-free Adagio Health. And brought to you by Parmar Stores. If there isn't a Parmar store near you, there will be soon. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on SingleCare.com. Show the coupon at the pharmacy and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to SingleCare.com or download the free app today.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Heather Bosch. Former President Jimmy Carter has died at the age of 100. He served just one term, but as CBS's Steve Kathan reports, his legacy goes far beyond that.
In the years after leaving the White House, Mr. Carter established a Center for Peace in Atlanta, built houses for Habitat for Humanity, wrote many books, and was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
I'm not here as a public official, but as a citizen of a troubled world.
Indeed, Jimmy Carter would say he had a better reputation for his post-presidency than for his 4 years in the White House.
But I think that when people look back on what we did in the White House, I think there's a lot there of justifiable pride.
Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Investigators are trying to determine what led to the deadly crash of a passenger plane in South Korea this morning. Former NTSB Chair Robert Sumwalt.
I think the big question and the most obvious thing that we all notice is that the airplane landed with the wheels up. Why did that happen? And I think that's key to understanding the sequence of events that led to the overrunning of the runway and subsequent crash into a wall at the end of the runway.
All but 2 of the 181 people on board died. In the U.S., a strong storm system is threatening to whip up tornadoes a day after severe weather killed 3 people in Gulf Coast states.
The National Weather Service says the line of severe storms led to about 40 tornado reports from southeastern Texas to Alabama. Those reports are unconfirmed until damage surveys are completed. This man lives in a mobile home community in Conroe, Texas, about 40 miles north of Houston. He says he had just a few minutes to get to safety before the first tornado warning.
Right when the wind started picking up, I said, okay, we all need to get underneath the porch. Before I could get the word porch out of my mouth, we were all on the ground. And it just went,
Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Cases of a fast-spreading stomach bug are troubling parts of the U.S. More from CBS's Sabrina Cupid.
Norovirus is easily spread, and according to the latest figures from the CDC here in Atlanta, there has been a surge in the number of cases starting the first week of December. Norovirus causes gastrointestinal symptoms as well as flu-like symptoms, which is why it's sometimes called the stomach flu. And it's spread by direct contact with an infected person, touching a contaminated surface, or by consuming tainted food or drinks.
An operation today for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Doctors say they successfully removed his prostate and earlier predicted the 75-year-old would recover quickly. An acting prime minister temporarily took over his duties during the operation. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com. Show the coupon at the pharmacy and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's been a record-breaking year for launches on Florida's Space Coast.
SpaceX has come close to its goal of 140 launches this year from its 3 launch sites.
And liftoff. Go Falcon, go strong.
overnight launch for a San Francisco company was number 92 from the Space Coast this year. That's 20 more than all of last year's Florida launches combined. With one more planned for tonight, SpaceX will have flown 134 times from here, California, and Texas, where it flies its Monster Starship rocket. This year's Florida launches included 4 SpaceX Dragons carrying astronauts. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
NASA astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore, stranded at the International Space Station until March, appear to be making the best of it. An Instagram image showed them wearing Santa hats for Christmas. Maybe the jolly old elf dropped them by. I'm Heather Bosch, CBS News.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no cravings. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99. No irritability, no cravings. Because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Wednesday, January 8th at the Hilton Garden in Pittsburgh, Cranberry in Cranberry Township. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Thursday, January 9th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh West, Green Tree, Pittsburgh. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Couple of showers and a thunderstorm early on tonight. Watch for strong gusty winds that could lead to localized power outages, and secure any loose objects out there with the low 42. Tomorrow still blustery, clouds breaking for some sun, high 50 degrees. AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Benz, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. It's Chris Moore, the Moore of Pittsburgh, on the radio with you until 9 o'clock tonight. 866-391-1020. That is our number. Dial them in right now. As a matter of fact, you're going to have to drive the conversation a lot today because I, quite frankly, have not been feeling well and haven't done much reading that inspired me to talk about anything other than what Lenny and I were talking about before. Is there some buyer's remorse that's going on now? I see Michael Steele is railing against Elon Musk and some of the things that he has been saying about immigrants and visas to get the high-tech workers here in America. I also see that Mr. Trump may be backtracking on his tariffs against China, Mexico, and Canada, which I think is a good thing if he's backtracking because, as I said before, those tariffs are going to cost us. And it's going to really contribute to the cost of living in this country. Everything. National Retail Federation says everything is going to cost more if those tariffs go through. So what to do? If you're a Trump supporter, I'd like to hear from you. Do you think that there's going to be some buyer's remorse, or are you ready to stay the course and move full speed ahead with Mr. Trump and all the things that he wants to do? Will his immigration policies make America a safer nation? I don't think so. He's going to have to stop Americans from committing crimes because we're the ones that commit the majority of murders in this country. Certainly there are some immigrants who have gotten away with murder, so to speak, or at least gotten out of jail and then committed murders. I don't think that they're getting away with murders. But there's a lot of fever around them, and whether or not they are the chief cause of trouble in this country. I don't think they are. I think Americans are the chief cause of those kind of troubles in this country. And all you have to do is look at the headlines, and it doesn't take any genius to see that it's a lot of people getting killed in this country besides noted executives of big insurance firms. That's the kind of stuff that generates a lot of buzz. I was always taught as a journalist that a lot of times news is who it happens to. And so if it's a big-time executive like that and there's an issue behind it about insurance companies not paying premiums for people who are sick, then that generates a lot of buzz. But if you're a poor woman in Blarnox and you get shot, not much is going to happen because of it, other than the criminal might be arrested, which I think is a good thing. Last time I was here, I talked about the death penalty also, and how Trump said he was going to bring it back on the federal level, and I continue to maintain that that's not going to make the nation any safer either. I don't think that criminals think, if I shoot the store clerk, I'm going to get to jail. I don't think they think like that. These crimes are committed in the heat of passion when people are not thinking, and they end up killing somebody. And I don't care if it's husband and wife who are in a domestic dispute or somebody holding up the local confectionery on the corner. Federal death penalty is not going to do a thing to reduce crime in this country. And I say crime is already down in this country, particularly violent crime, and according to the FBI. So don't argue with me, argue with the FBI. 866-391-1020. Let's go to the phones. I'm glad you're here to help drive the agenda because I'm feeling a little puny today, and I hope that you will have something to say. Michael in Wexford, you're on KDKA.
Good afternoon, sir, and I'm praying that you feel healthier in the new year.
Thank you.
So we spoke a month ago on your show, and you made a comment that you are not a registered Democrat, but a registered independent.
No, I didn't say that. I said I used to be an independent, but I have to register as a Democrat here in Allegheny County because if you don't, you got no voice. Once the primary is over, it's usually over.
So I'm going to ask you a question. You may not want to answer, and I respect that, but in your adult life, regardless of your political registration, have you ever voted for a Republican for president?
Let me see. Didn't vote for Reagan, didn't vote for Bush, one or two. No,
didn't vote for Romney.
No.
Didn't vote for, what was the gentleman's name, the war veteran?
McCain?
My mind skipped. The answer is no, correct?
Yes.
Okay. During that same conversation, I described current president, although I questioned that, the technical current president, Joe Biden, is running a criminal enterprise. Criminal enterprise. There's been photographs released this week showing him and his son Hunter with these Chinese individuals, which he lied that he ever met them for 4 years. Do you concede that it's possible that Hunter Biden, and to a further extent his father, used their political power to earn hundreds of millions of dollars?
Are you kidding? I've always said that. It doesn't take a genius to realize that the only reason Hunter Biden got appointed to the board of Burisma was because his daddy was vice president at the time. That's the kind of thing political favors are made of. I've always said that.
But at the same time, and I'm going to say your side, I'm going to talk about those that
well, you can't rail bunch my argument. You can't say my side for me. You just ask a question, and I'll tell you what my side is, okay?
Going clear back to 2016, Hillary Clinton and others screamed that President Trump was not releasing his tax returns. Those were subsequently leaked. And have you ever heard any news story where he was a tax cheat, where he was affiliated with foreign governments and so forth? The answer is no. The answer is no. This guy has been beaten up for 8 years, many times unfairly, in the courts and outside the courts. And I love hearing the question about buyer's remorse, because the losing side has no clue why they lost on November 5th. And they are so far in the woods right now. I may not live long enough to see the Democrats regain power at the national level.
Well, I think that's true. I think that's true, but that's what happens when parties, political parties, power swings back and forth like a pendulum in America. There were a succession of Democratic presidents, and then there were Republican presidents with the two Bushes and the like, and then more Democratic presidents. That pendulum swings back and forth all the time. So don't count the Democrats out just because they seem to be in, and I agree with you, seem to be in a lot of disarray right now and don't know which way to turn.
I think they're out during the rest of my lifetime, but I'm an old man. I really do. I think they're out. But there was no. If
you live 10 years, you'll see another Democratic president.
I sure pray you're on the radio 10 years from today.
I sure pray that I am too, so you can call me about that. I really do.
New Year. Happy New Year to you. It's sincere. I hope you feel better.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it, Michael. Let's take this break right now. 866-391-1020. That is our number. Any buyer's remorse out there? People feel that Trump has been unfairly prosecuted. I don't think so. I really don't. I wonder who he's going to unfairly prosecute as he promises to turn the Department of Justice into a weaponized arm of his government to do his bidding against people who worked against him. He's almost like a kid in elementary school. I got you back. And I think that's where he's going with his presidency, to tell you the truth. But I hope I'm on the radio from 10 years from now, and you can call me then too, Michael. Hope you're alive to look at it. All right, bye.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
If you are new to Medicare and have questions, Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage